Hi, I'm Ted Nelson. Okay, browser law, the grim standards and the choices. I talked in an earlier video, Xanadu Basics 1B, about how you can get visible connection by indirect delivery from multiple sources. Unfortunately, indirect documents are especially hard to achieve now. They're not possible on the World Wide Web. The world of connected documents I'm working on has to be separate from the World Wide Web. Xanadu documents can have jump links to the World Wide Web and vice versa, but our connected pages collide with the browser standards for reasons which I will now explain. We didn't ask for this. Project Xanadu came before the World Wide Web. We were here first, but they locked us out. It is as if all web standards have been set up to prevent indirect documents. Here's what kills indirect hypertext on the web. The browser will not allow text from different sources. Pictures and video can come in from any locations on the internet, but text cannot. Exactly as if they wanted to make our system impossible. The text must be delivered as a lump. The browser forbids multiple sources of text. You can have audio and video come from anywhere, but not text. This is a so-called security feature. This is because the doggone JavaScript engine made inside the browser can be hijacked. Browser design veered away from literature in 1995 when they put in the JavaScript engine, and the web has been about special effects ever since. The browser allows multiple sources of pictures, text, audio, but not text. Pictures, video, audio, but not text. This effectively kills indirect hypertext in the browser, relegating connected documents to a separate world of our own. In the following video clip, we see a pretense of indirect documents that had to adapt to this browser law. Here in Open Xanadu, you seem to open a Xanadoc in the browser, but all the sources come from the same location, Xanadu.com, pretending to come in from elsewhere. I'll talk about awkward ways around this browser restriction later. Now I'm going to editorialize a while, then get on to more technicalities at the end about how to bring in content from different sources. It is my belief that browser standards are the new oppression. I see the so-called modern browser, the all-singing, all-dancing, sliding panel browser, as a monstrous oppressive juggernaut. Since the new sliding panel era, the number of sites I used to visit have gotten terrible. BBC and Kaiser Permanente, my medical system, where emails are now hard to copy out and get lost between searches. The webmasters are so eager to use the new sliding panel effects that they lose further touch with users and their needs. This sliding panel juggernaut is imposed by techies and corporate interests. They own you. You can only look at things the way they want you to see them. You can't use, quote, outdated browsers, unquote, anymore. It is criminal that you can't open a web page any way you like. Whatever happened to computer liberation? As Lessig says, code is law, but the laws were not decided by users, authors, or scholars. Software is not about reality. Software is artificial constructs locked into working code, shown you only in ways that the programmers and their sponsors allow. It's reality in the same way that a jail is reality. You know there's blue sky and possibilities out there, but not within reach. Software should be about what people need, not about market niches and startups and venture capital, not about market share, or about sliding panels on the screen or kowtowing to advertisers. Today's web styles are all about appearance, since there's no way to show connection. Web structure is based on one column of text. With jump links out, only jump links. You can't have what we're trying to do, visible connection. Instead, acres of idiotic white space and pictures sloshing around, now sliding overlays to cut you off and interrupt, distractions and ads and surprise audio whose sources you don't know. This is not literature. It's like trying to read while you're walking through traffic. All this is far from the things I think are important. Today's web page styling is very much about advertising and for the ever-sinking mentality of the digital proletariat, users as cattle, who in turn see this as the only possible reality. I see the World Wide Web Consortium, WC3, as one of the monopolies that now rule us and define our lives, and like those other monopolies which I don't need to name, they control our experience and our possibilities. All right, back to technicalities. What are the choices for indirect documents given this web ecology and browser that rules out multiple sources? The best choice is to create a user program, an installable user application that sits on your computer, sends for, and assembles the contents. An application has no restrictions on what it sends for from where. But let's look at the other browser possibilities, because sending for indirect documents from multiple sources is not allowed. Here are the nasty choices. 1. Do a whitelist. That's a list in HTML that gives permission to receive from specific sites. This is impossibly elaborate and totally against the idea of being able to assemble from all over. 2. Serve all the contents from a single internet site and send the package. That's what we did to an Open Xanadu, which I just showed you. You seem to open a Xanadu in the browser. This is totally against the idea of being able to assemble from all over. 3. Aggregate elsewhere, assemble the EDL at some other internet site, have a specific site send for the pieces, then deliver it all to the browser as a package. Again, this is against the idea of being able to assemble from all over. It also involves possible liability, now that Safe Harbor has been repealed. To conclude, I'm still hopeful that in some better time, parallel pages can become a new literature and people can enjoy the other benefits of indirect documents. Thank you.